Welcome back. We're here this morning with Michael Mills, the president of the Catholic Teachers Union here in the Diocese of Scranton. And Mr. Mills, let's talk a little bit about the whole process of the recognition for the union, particularly as it relates to what's going on right now.
Sure. Again, our situation developed as the diocese went about restructuring the schools. I think we learned about that in the early fall of 2006. I have to say that we immediately approached the diocesan officials and said, we're not opposed to this. We know that the bishop has big problems and that this needs to be done, and we'd like to partner with you in this process. We were rejected in that attempt to partner with the diocese at that time. Once it moved a little further and we got an idea of where this was heading, we asked for outright recognition at that point so that we could have a legitimate voice, and we were told that even asking for the recognition at that point was premature. We were told that we'd have to wait until the diocese formed the new system, which eventually would be the creation of 4 separate school systems, one pretty much on a county-wide basis, Luzerne, Lackawanna, Lycoming, and then Monroe and Pike together. That took much longer than what anybody had expected. It took better than a year for that to take place. In between, we'd had a number of conversations with people from the Diocesan Schools Office, from legal counsel that represented the diocese, and we were assured that the existing diocesan policy number 417, that provides a method for organizing, would be adhered to, and that as soon as these new boards were in place, we could approach them for recognition. As a matter of fact,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, not only that, but there was an article in the June 7th edition of the Catholic Light, the diocesan newspaper, that said pretty much what I just told you, that laid out the procedure. There would be a secret ballot election, that the American Arbitration Association would be the neutral party that would supervise it, and that we'd have to go system by system in order to gain recognition.
Now, it's my understanding, too, that as part of all of this process, your teachers, the people that you represent, were a key cog in the consolidation of all these schools and getting the students, the parents, even other teachers to accept this consolidation and to go forward with it.
We think so, absolutely. The bishop was getting fire from every direction. The only place he wasn't getting any fire from were the teachers. It wasn't as if we didn't have sympathy for those teachers, those people who were looking to save their schools, and certainly some of the things that happened with the closings there we take issue with, to be honest with you. But we knew that something had to happen with the schools, that there needed to be this reorganization, and we backed the bishop on every move. Therefore, it was a particular kick in the teeth to be rewarded with what happened down the road when he refused to recognize the union and the teachers who were backing him.
Now, let's digress a little bit if we can. The history of the Catholic Church and its relation with organized labor is immense. At least from, and I'm a history major, so at least from my research, from my studying, and now from hearing all of this, Catholicism and unionization are almost intertwined.
Absolutely. Going back to the late 19th century, I have a list here, that's what I'm referring to, of every encyclical written by, pick a pope. They've all added to the body of what the church has put out about the rights of labor, beginning with Leo XIII and Rerum Novarum up to and including the present Pope, and the Catholic Conference of Bishops have all put out statements supporting labor. There's probably no stronger supporter of the right to organize and of union rights than is the Roman Catholic Church. The fact is that Bishop Martino said he's not denying us the right to organize. He's saying that in looking at our particular situation, although we have the right to organize, there's a greater right, as he sees it, the right to preserve Catholic education, where he alleges that we are a threat to that continued process, and that's why he's denied us the right.
And how does he go about saying that you're a threat? I quite honestly don't understand that, so please tell me from your conversations.
Again, and this is where we have to say, we haven't been attacking Bishop Martino. We've been attacking his decision, which we think is a bad decision made with bad advice. Someone has fed him misinformation that throughout the course of our history, as you brought up before, we were only interested with money, that we made demands that put the school system in danger. We simply refute that. Moreover, he goes to say that should we be recognized now, we would be such a threat that we would bring about the end of Catholic education as it is. The record just doesn't, reveal that at all as far as we're concerned. We have never made demands beyond those that a particular school community could afford. They weren't one-sided negotiations. They were agreements reached by both parties involved, in many cases pastors, boards of pastors, certainly concerned parents all played a role in this, and as is the case in any agreement, it was for mutual gain. So to say that our history pointed to the fact that we were out to destroy Catholic education, I don't know what to say. It hurts to begin with, but there's no basis in fact for that.
But if you look at your roles, am I correct? A large majority of your teachers are teachers who have been teaching for 25, 30, 35, even longer years.
And again, that's what we think will be lost if if our union disappears from the Catholic educational system today. People simply won't make the commitment that our teachers have made. And you're right, I'm there, this is my 34th year, and I'm one of the new kids on the block, I kid you not. That's just the way it is. We've got teachers there with more than 40 years of service. And they made the commitment because, although they're not making what even those in our own profession make financially, they know that we're doing the best that we can, that our organization has always spoke to do what was possible financially, but as I said, we've been the voice for them to address their concerns, an independent voice that comes from the teachers. So we believe that without that, the future generation of teachers like ours simply won't be there. They won't make that commitment. You're going to have birds of passage who come in, teach a year or two, and then move on to someplace else because they'll find the school system doesn't value them.
And as I've always said, ultimately the people who are injured the most are the students.
I agree. I agree. It takes a while to learn your craft, regardless of what it is. And that's certainly true of teachers. And I'm not knocking young teachers, but I'll be the first to admit that in the first 5 years, I was practicing on my first 5-year group of students, and I owe them an apology. I'll do that right now, okay? It takes a while to learn how to be a good teacher. So if you're going to have teachers that come in and stay a year or two, they're going to be teachers who are just learning their craft. And once they learn it, they're going to move on to some place that values them. They're not going to stay in the system. And as you said, that's not going to be good for the kids and their parents, that's for sure.
We're going to go to our second break right now. When we return, we're going to be talking with Michael Mills further about the attempts to have the Scranton Teachers Union recognized as the bargaining unit for those teachers here in the Diocese of Scranton. So please join us.